What even is a second chance, honestly? Are they even real? Do they really exist? Life is like a tax audit. It friggin' sucks, and it's got one hell of a fetish for punishment. It can cut you down, burn you out, make you lose passion for the things you love, or at least the things that you thought you did. It's real bitter stuff, and it kind of makes you think, do I even deserve a second chance? Am I worth it? Can I make it work? Is it too late? Is a second chance truly in the cards for me?
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm talking about the silly little pixel art indie game starring the non-binary cat protagonist kid. Yeah, that one.
OneShot is one of the two great RPG Maker indie games about a deeply layered protagonist and their relationship with a special light bulb, and I think that's pretty cool. It was an iconic work of art in the gaming space that's become instantly recognizable and left a great positive impact on the people who played it, but it didn't seem like that was always going to be the case. So here's the thing about the creative process, it is really, really fun. And that's honestly nowhere more obvious than with OneShot, a game that was never supposed to be a success, but because of the passion and the hard work of its creators, still became one anyway.
OneShot was initially made in just under 1 month in RPG Maker 2003 for the 2014 RPG Maker Indie Game Maker contest by the dynamic duo of Eliza Velasquez and Night Margin, which, yes, 1 is a mouthful and B is just absolutely bewildering considering how great this game and everything in it truly is. This world, these characters, the music, this eerie and sort of unsettling tone dreams and nightmares alike are made of, all of that was done in under 20-something days in RPG Maker, and that's just bat-nut insane.
Yeah, I'll get into what made OneShot so good a bit later, but I just want to clarify that original 2014 build, well, it definitely isn't as amazing as the modern version of the game, what with its updated visuals and added content and greatly improved third act. It's still really, really good on its own, to the extent that some players actually prefer it over the final release, and I think a lot of that comes down to the singular idea controlling every single thing at OneShot's core. The idea that forms everything OneShot is, the idea from which OneShot gets its namesake. That being that you only have one shot. Oh, so that's why it's called that. You've got to help guide this kid from one end of the world to the other, and if you quit along the way, if you close the game out to do something else, then that's it. You lost. You had your one shot and you blew it. And the same goes for the ending too.
You're given a decision, a choice, one that once you make it, you're stuck with forever. No take-backsies. You can't restart the game, you can't delete and re-download it, you can't go back to your old save file, nope, none of that. In this world, you don't get any shots of redemption. In this world, you don't get any do-overs. In this world, you don't get any second chances.
And following OneShot's initial release on June 30th, 2014, it finally came time for the Indie Game Maker contest results to be revealed, and while this may not be the most well-known or highly awaited game jam of the year, for the contestants, it was a really big deal, with over 800 games competing at a chance at the grand prize, $10,000 that they could use to flesh out and publish their game. And for small indie game devs, the outcome of this contest, it'd be nothing short of life-changing, and that, of course, held true for Eliza and Night Margin as well. And it all paid off on October 1st of that year when the jam's grand prize winner was revealed as Red Nova's Remnants of Isolation. Okay, well, OneShot didn't exactly win the grand prize here, but hey, there were still other categories available, like Best RPG? Nah, that was a win by Nivlax's antagonist. Alright, maybe second or third Best RPG? Nope. Nada. To be fair, I'm not entirely sure that OneShot even really counts as an RPG per se, even though it kinda is one, so maybe it picked up something in the non-RPG award category? Seriously, you know where I'm going with this. Of course it didn't win anything. OneShot went through that whole entire contest without nabbing a single solitary award. You know why? The game was disqualified. Apparently it used some unofficial modified version of RPG Maker 2003 that allowed the player to use Latin numerals if needed. It's really dumb it was disqualified for something like that, but I mean, whatever, I guess, and stuff, man. So to Eliza and Night Margin, that was it. The contest had ended, OneShot was completed, and they were done with it. The game had its one shot, and now it was all over. Or at least, that's what they thought. As it turned out, they would receive an offer from Dejika Games to finish OneShot for full publication, and if you're like most people out there and you don't know what Dejika Games is, let alone how to pronounce it, they're generally known for publishing RPG Maker games like this one. Well, usually ones very, Very different from this one, but I'm sure you catch my drift.
So yeah, after all of that, there was finally a secured future for this game, an expanded and fully fleshed out remake of that original 2014 build, an honest to goodness dollars to donuts second chance for OneShot.
They didn't just throw some shiny new sprites in and spake a new text font on like other freeware ports did. No. Eliza Velasquez and Night Margin saw this as a new opportunity with unlimited time in their hands. They weren't limited to just a month now, so the crew could finally mold OneShot into the full work of art they always wanted it to be. Like I said, a lot of people still prefer the 2014 version of the game for its darker tone, but I wholeheartedly disagree, and for several reasons. See, the 2016 remake just adds so much to the entire experience. It was rebuilt in RPG Maker XP with better looking sprites and more polished music, and most importantly, double the playtime with more fleshed out areas and an additional route to play, but I'll slay that goose a bit later. The 2016 version of OneShot also isn't the final take on the game, funnily enough, as in 2022, OneShot finally received a full console port in the form of OneShot World Machine Edition, which, have her bad takes here, but I kind of personally prefer it. Don't get me wrong, the 2016 remake is amazing, and it really flips immersion on its head since it actually interacts with your own computer. It's a true mind-bending and, for real, kind of scary experience, having to search through your personal files to find secrets or see the changes the game will inflict on your system. While the World Machine Edition just recreates an in-game version of a desktop, which is way less immersive and frankly way less cool, but is also the only way this game would ever work on actual consoles. However, you're also not limited to 4 directional movement in this version, and when it comes to gameplay, I just prefer not being locked to a grid. It all ultimately comes down to what you want or prefer in gaming. If you're more of a PC guy, the 2016 remake is for you. But if consoles are more up your alley, play the World Machine Edition. If you care more about the immersion and paranoia the game instills, 2016. And if you value the in-game gameplay more, World Machine. Both takes are awesome and provide different reasons to play them, so it can really go either way. For me though, I prefer the World Machine takes simply because I think the improved gameplay and having the game on console, which is something no one ever saw coming, is worth the sacrificed immersion of the 2016 game. Nevertheless, the console port's mere existence just shows that sometimes a second chance isn't enough. Sometimes you have to try at something time and time again to get it right. Just don't tell me that. What do you think? I actually listen to myself?